Hello and welcome back to another Marvel Snap video. My name is Michael, but you can call me MOLT. We got a fun discard deck today with Collector. You guys are going to love it. Let's get into it. So while discard seems like a deck that is completely full of RNG or randomness, it actually feels extremely consistent, and I almost always feel confident playing discard decks. In fact, I started off today in the high 91s, low 92s because I dropped down from 95 as I was experimenting with some fun stuff, and we actually climbed from 92 up to 96 with this deck this morning in like 2 hours. It has been incredibly fun, and yeah, let's go ahead and check out the deck. So the deck is made up of Nebula, Morbius, the Collector, Swarm, Colleen Wing, Lady Sif, Swordmaster, Dracula, MODOK, Apocalypse, America Chavez, and Helicarrier. We're going to go ahead and break down the cards right now, but if you guys are interested in just the live games and you don't want to hear me talk about the deck in detail, then you can head on over to the live games. Just check out the chapters down below. But yeah, let's get into it. So the first card in the deck is Nebula. We've been using it a lot lately. Doesn't require much information for you guys. You all know what Nebula does. If your opponent doesn't play on that location, it gains +2. So in this deck, it's just there to kind of throw off to the side and forget. And if it works out for us and it helps us win, awesome. If they Killmonger it, doesn't really matter. Next, we've got Morbius. Morbius is an incredibly fun card to play, but you do have to be careful because a lot of people are running Enchantress right now. So if you're going to rely on Morbius for that power, you've got to be a little bit careful. You need to pay attention to the deck that your opponent is playing. And if you think that they have Morbius, then you might want to throw MODOK on that Morbius location and some other power on that Morbius location, either on that final turn or on turn 5, so that they think they're going to win with that Enchantress because you've given up on putting anything on that location, and then you can end up beating them. You also obviously have to be careful of Shang-Chi, so a lot of your discards you're going to want to save towards the end if possible. But Morbius, great card that can actually generate a lot of power for you on the board. Next, we've got the Collector. I've actually been wanting to play the Collector more, so I'm happy that they showed him a little bit of love. The Collector has a couple of cards that it works with in this deck in the form of Swarm, Apocalypse, and Helicarrier. The Collector is not a win condition by any means. It's another one of those cards that you just kind of set it and forget it, just like Nebula. So if somebody plays Storm, or if there's a location where you're not going to be able to play cards on a specific turn or after a specific turn, then you throw the Collector over there, and you can potentially, with this deck, get it up to like a 2-9, a 2-7, somewhere around there, which is obviously a great stat line, and your opponent is a little kind of off guard because they're not certain as to how much power you're going to be able to add to the Collector. Next, we've got Swarm. Swarm really only has one purpose in this deck, and that is to tag it with Colleen Wing, buffing the Collector, then tagging it with MODOK, and then final turn, if possible, flooding the board and just getting all of those free 3-power cards down. Really, really fun card to play, and I enjoy it. And again, it works really, really well with the Collector also, especially if you can play Colleen Wing and then MODOK. Collector is going to get some pretty big power. Got Colleen Wing. Colleen Wing has an incredible stat line just as a 2-4. If you think about most 2-cost cards, if any of them have 4 or more power, they have a downside. If you think about Cloak, people can move cards there. If you think about Lizard, 2-5, it has a downside. Colleen Wing doesn't really have a downside because you intentionally have it in this deck to discard your Swarm. So it has an upside of the fact that it's 2-4 and you tag Swarm with it. Really, really solid card. Lady Sif in this deck is here for either Apocalypse or Helicarrier. It depends on whether or not you have the Collector down. Sometimes you can run into some trouble if you do discard Helicarrier and it just fills your hand with crap that you don't want to play. When you don't have Collector down, it can be frustrating. But ultimately, Lady Sif is in here to tag Apocalypse and help Apocalypse get even bigger so that potentially your Dracula can end up discarding it. We also have Swordmaster in this deck. Another one of those cards like Colleen Wing. Incredible stat line. 3-6 with no real backside except for the fact that you don't know what it's going to discard. Colleen Wing, you know exactly what it's going to discard in your hand. Swordmaster, you don't, unless you only have like one card in your hand. Then obviously you're going to know what it's going to end up discarding. But for the potential stat line, for the potential Swarm hit and things like that, because if you have Lady Sif in your hand and you have Swarm, you know that it's not going to hit Swarm. Swordmaster could, and that could end up being good for you. So Swordmaster's in here, great power, and just helps out with discarding. Next, one of the strongest cards in the entirety of the discard archetype is Dracula. In correlation with Apocalypse. Works incredibly well with Apocalypse, especially if you're able to discard Apocalypse a whole bunch. In this deck, Dracula can struggle a little bit, but Dracula is intimidating to people. You play Dracula down, and half the time, people aren't even going to play on that location anymore because they're like, well, I'm going to lose that. Like, Dracula has a very intimidating factor to him, to where sometimes I'll know that Dracula isn't going to discard anything good, and I just won't play on that location, and I'll end up winning it with, like, my Calling Wing that's on that location or whatever. But ideally, you want Dracula to discard Apocalypse or America Chavez or Helicarrier so that it can buff the Collector. But sometimes if you play MODOK on turn 5 and you have Collector in your hand and you fill up your hand, then you're not really sure what Dracula is going to discard. But again, that's all kind of in your realm of control to a certain extent, to where you could save MODOK to play on final turn if you really wanted to. You could play a bunch of swarms, whatever, but Dracula is an intimidating card and has a very high power potential. MODOK is, to me, a perfect pass card. Not too strong, not too weak, really fun to freaking play. And MODOK honestly single-handedly has made discard a lot more fun, I think. I've always loved discard, but once they added MODOK, it was like, whoa, this is cool. You can do lots of fun stuff. And if you already have Swarm discarded once and you have Helicarrier in your hand and you have Collector down, then Collector is going to get really big whenever you play MODOK, which is super cool. Next, we've got Apocalypse in here. Apocalypse is only in here for Lady Sif to hit it and potentially for Dracula to hit it. Yes, you can play Apocalypse final turn, which most people don't expect you to do, and that's where the mind games come in with Dracula again. People expect Dracula to tag Apocalypse, so they're doing the math in their head. They're like, okay, Apocalypse already got hit once, so it's at 12, so that means it's going to be at 16 when Dracula, okay, so I can, and then you just play Apocalypse somewhere else, and they wasted all that time doing math. So Apocalypse is another one of those very intimidating cards within this deck. America Chavez is in here for two very specific reasons. To push all of your other cards into your hand. That's honestly the main reason that people use America Chavez. It throws all the other cards into your hand before she is drawn on that final turn. But again, she is also there to where final turn, if you wanted to play Apocalypse and you had Dracula on a location that was shut down and you didn't need extra power there, then you could play Apocalypse on the board and have Dracula discard America Chavez, which still works out. Next, we've got Helicarrier. Helicarrier is a very interesting card and really only in this deck because of Collector. It does only give Collector 3 power, but if Dracula discards Helicarrier, your opponent isn't necessarily going to be expecting that. And so Dracula discarding Helicarrier gives Collector +3, gives Dracula +10, and gives Morbius +2 if you have it down, which is a lot of information for your opponent to track. Now, if you are playing the Collector, most people will probably think that you have Helicarrier within your deck. But either way, it's there, it's fun. Definitely not one of the better 6-drops in the game. In fact, I'd say it's one of the weaker ones. But in relationship to Collector, it can help get it big and help you win some games. All right, that's going to be it. Let's hop into the live games. A punch. All right. Oh, might be good for us, but honestly always a little bit scary because people tend to enjoy changing the location. So you got to be a little bit careful with it. Oh, wow. Okay. Dracula is going to be absolutely massive on this. Oh, is that where I want to play Dracula? I feel like it is. No, I think I need to play Dracula over here. I just really don't want them to change this location. Oh no, freaking Helicarrier, dude. Oh, that's freaking brutal, man. I still think I might want to play Lady Sif right here. Not sure what type of deck they're playing. They could change this location, which is obviously always a little bit intimidating. We'll try this. All right. So now we're going to get 4. 1. Yes. 2. If one of them tags Helicarrier, I'll be okay with it. 3. Okay, what are we going to get from it? Oh, my. 4. Okay, sick. Can't play Ebony Maw, which kind of sucks for Dracula. Okay. Now I am super curious as to whether or not they're going to change this location or not. Like I almost want to do this. Get rid of something random. I should have played Dracula in the middle. Well, I mean, we know that we draw into America Chavez. Okay, I'm actually really happy that we ended up discarding that. I could play Taskmaster right here and add 6, which would be safe from a potential Shang-Chi, which I don't doubt that they're doing. Obviously, they could play... Wow! I'm going to say, if they play Hawk, their Hawk is going to be gargantuan. Guys, this is the same person, and I responded to a text message in between games. What the freak? Seriously, I responded to a text message between games. All right, so we're going to play Morbius over here because Dracula's going to have to be played on Asteroid M. We know that they have Killmonger, which does suck a little bit. Is this still the featured location? I didn't think that it was. I can't play anything. Okay, good. They were trying to pull Morbius off of it. I'm going to need to fill in this location right here, though, so that I can play Dracula over here. So that it doesn't get pulled off. Yeah, that sucks, but again, if I can... Oh, nice. That actually helps me out. I don't think that they have anything that changes locations here. We do know that they most likely have a Killmonger, though. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm so bummed right now. I need them to have priority. I really want to play Swordmaster over here, but it's kind of stressful. But I'm going to do it. Okay. We already know they're going to play Killmonger. Wow, we still retain the lead. Interesting. All right, this will be interesting. They weren't able to play Rock Slide, so we only have 4 cards in our deck. They're not going to play Shang-Chi or anything because it's not going to work for them. We'll be able to add minimum 9, 10, 11 power over here. Yep, so that was a waste of a Shang-Chi. That's so funny, bro. That's so funny. Oh, man. I mean, what did you think I was gonna do? I know what deck you're playing. I know you have Shang-Chi. All right, we'll go Nebs. This isn't bad for us right now. We haven't seen the Collector yet. Okay. So, play Collector here and hope that it pulls Dracula. Sakaar is not too hot for us right here, if I'm honest. It actually kind of sucks. Because if we pull MODOK, it's like super early. Yeah, not the biggest fan of that location right now for this. I knew that was gonna happen. God, sucks. Oh, ha. Ah, you sure you want to do that? You sure you want to snap now, big dog? Death Domain is sick for us there. We need to draw into Swarm right now. And I'm probably going to play MODOK in the middle. I'm going to play America Chavez in the middle. Like, I'm going to play the big dogs in the middle. Wow. They're going to be so stressed. Because we can also play these zeros over on Crimson. Yo, wait, what? Can they change the location? Ah, okay. I got you, big dog. Oh, my. I mean, if I go Morbius right here, and then, well, do I need to do that right now? I think I would rather do this and just play America Chavez next turn with a whole bunch of these. But this is gonna add. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll compete with this still. Oh, that sucks. Not sure if we might still take it out here. Nah, so they can move Jeff over there and end up winning that one. 9, 12. So we can add 12 right here. If they move Jeff or anything like that over here, they would add 6, which could win that location for them. I don't know if this wins, but it feels good to me. Nice, dude. That was definitely the right play. Gosh, that was clutch. All right, we got Collector. And Collector is not ongoing, so Collector can go on to Isle of Silence, which is good. We can hide Dracula under Dark Dimension, which we would like. Oh, wow, okay. This could be really good. No matter what Swordmaster hits, Collector's going to get big here. Nice. Okay. Oh, early Sarahs are freaking brutal. Dang it, it's going to be a Mr. Negative deck. That freaking sucks. Oh, it's going to be a Mr. Negative deck, dude. I honestly just want to get this out of my hand. Whoa, okay. So, no Mr. Negative yet, which is good. Nice. I'm going to snap on this. I feel good with it. I'm going to actually play over here with MODOK just in case they end up wanting to mess us up over here. Because Collector is going to get okay right now. It's going to get a little big. We're going to draw into America Chavez that we can either hide or do something else with. Okay. Obviously, that's pretty big. We can go here. They never got Mr. Negative. This is one of the reasons why I dislike Mr. Negative. Mr. Negative is too inconsistent. It's either kind of like, and they could still end up winning here because they have Sarah, which is going to help them out, and they had Bast hit some stuff. That's good. But it's either like a mediocre deck or unbelievably broken. Like, I've had people play 21 energy on their final turn worth of cards, which is like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So it's like, okay, let's meet in the middle. Let's make it a little bit better on the bottom end and not as freaking good on the top end. But I feel like it's a tough card for them to figure out how to balance. Okay, so here's what we do. We go here, here, here. And we're most likely going to win this because Apocalypse is going to get huge. I think they're going to go White Tiger, and I think they're going to get lucky, and it's going to go to the middle. Well, unless they played it on the left. But they just played 2 cards there last turn, so I don't really know. Is that going to buff? Double Tiger, yeah. So one in the middle, one over there. Okay. Drac. It's fine. Let's go, dude. Oh, it's a big dog. Nice. Come on. Look how big they got in the middle. And we almost even competed with that, which is crazy. I don't really know what else they could have done. If they had gotten Mr. Negative, like, it would have been game over. They only needed to draw 3 more cards. And they have 1 in their hand. So they only needed to draw, well, that could be a Mr. Negative. Who knows? Let's go. All right, y'all, that's going to be it for this discard deck. If you're still here, why don't you comment down below and say, that was a blast. Because I had fun, man. Discard is always super, super fun and feels pretty consistent to me. Appreciate you guys hanging out and watching. See you on the next one. Peace out.